This is my Lima, Peru hostel room because I had made a reservation and I got this 5-bedroom room by myself, and apparently I'm supposed to stay that way till Wednesday. We'll see if that happens or not, since I leave Wednesday. It's an old building, but the whole area is old. This is the old center of Lima, Peru. But it's adequate. No ventilation, so I'll probably keep that window open and probably keep my door open. The nuns are out for an early morning stroll from San Francisco Church. My fear, once again, is on the edge. Media, guidebooks, and hopefully after an hour or two I'll become bold. Not worry too much about it, except to be prudent. Very pretty church. I like the idea of the paint on the side portions, and then the stone is left unpainted in the center. It creates a frame of some sort. This is interesting because it is painted stucco and quite old, rather than the gold and the other cutesy-isms that you normally see. I don't know if this is a Peruvian characteristic of their churches or not. But again, notice how nicely the painted portion frames that wooden and maybe gold filigree altar. This is a small icon of San Francisco de Assisi, and it's interesting. A lady came up, she rubbed the foot, she played with the tassel and mumbled some words. I don't know why that's not called idol worshipping. Not as a Christian, but as just an observer. There's something unique and intriguing about this design as opposed to many of the others, and I think it's that stark red and white borders, if you will. The massiveness of the elements in this are impressive and palpable as I stand here. This is designed so that the farther up the icon goes, the more it overreaches where you're standing, if you're standing close to it at the bottom. A lady putting a bouquet of flowers, and the priest there has turned down the lights and is preparing for a ceremony. I wonder what phenomenal sense of security they have in their job. I also wonder if ever cynicism creeps in. Hey, this is the Parque de Murial. Mura is the word for walls, and so here there are preserved some of the original protective walls of the town when Lima was first built by the Spanish. It looks very pretty from walking along the exterior gate. Once they found these walls, they decided to preserve them as is, just as a historical artifact in this park, which is a great idea. That restaurant, according to the guidebook, is supposed to be a very nice place. It looks pretty, relatively speaking. It looks pretty anyway, but certainly relative to what you normally see. Other set of ruins. While I love parks, I particularly like the ones that have benches. To me, that's inviting, the benches alone. That is Cerro San Cristobal Peak or mountain. Apparently this building reflects the construction of structures over and on top of the walls, which is historically normal. Pretty substantial walls, it looks like, maybe 30-35 feet wide. When you live your life in a city that is old, pretty dirty looking, unkempt, unmaintained, you would think that a park like this could be a mental refuge. And an optimist might even think, and hopefully it's true, that it can inspire a higher quality of life. I don't know that that's true. Pedestrian walkway over the park, primarily built, I'm sure, for the parking area over there, just another pragmatic function of this little park, but also that tower there allows us access back into the lower section of the park. Past glories or not. It's nice to see something apparently maintained, although the weather here probably contributes. It's warm and humid. Bicycle path down there, which is nice. The railroad, which has been here for some time, I gather. Again, like Mexico, although I don't know if it's for the same reason, but you can see the smog in the air. And my cough has gotten a little bit more curious. Not bad, but just curious. There's San Francisco Monastery. Mexico City is not as pretty at all as my first evening in Lima would suggest. Off in the distance, another church. Notice that there are two kinds of walls here. This one on the right, the mixture of layers of large rock and then smaller rock, kind of Anasazi like. And then to the left, the wall was built of basically adobe and then covered with brick. It's always hard to tell how much of what we're looking at is original, how many represents several stages of construction over time, and how much represents restoration. There would appear to be an interesting remnant, and that is a piece of wood from some part of the construction. Apparently these are early homes that are believed to be the oldest surviving residences in Lima. And this stairway was constructed to give access to the river, I presume, after it was no longer being used as a defensive fort, but as a base for houses. One of the houses' entryway apparently looked like this, but it's not evident now, although perhaps because of the difficulty of translating the verbiage in the tense that it's stated makes it seem as though it's here. When you visit places like this, much of the time, for much of what you see, there is no explanation. Certainly not one that you're going to get if you don't speak the language, assuming there is an explanation by archaeologists. But it's more the concept of charisma of place. And with that charisma, you hope somehow to be touched mentally, emotionally, by the implication of what might have been here, the lives lived, etc., etc. Here's some wooden artifact embedded in the floor for some function. But I look at that and think of when and where did the man cut it down, and how did he dress out that piece of wood, and what was its function? And I look at it now and think about the moment try to think about the moment that he laid it down. So apparently the floors were of clay, but then in that midst of that rock, they put those pieces of wood, and then over the wood installed finished planking for the floor. And apparently one of the classic styles for construction in Lima originated here. What you see in front of us was covered with a front balcony, if you will, for the house. And then the back of the house, which also was like a front in the design, fronted on the alleyway of San Francisco. To quote the interpretive sign, here is the remains of a classic ancient home built early in the 17th century. This opening has, and we can make it out a little bit there, I'll focus in tight just for kicks, is wooden lintels. And then if you notice at the back, the walls were covered with a clay and then painted white. Not altogether unlike a stucco apartment today. This design is referred to as spike-shaped design, and it's thought perhaps to have been the courtyard of the house. Apparently somewhere in all of this are these drawings, but I can't find them, and there's no explanation for what they mean or are. There in the back is a doorway that's been filled in, and apparently this structure was, fortunately, hidden for centuries by structures on top of that. And this ramp was simply again a spike design, which may have given traction, but it was accessed from the housing section down to the river. There is a museum here that's closed for maintenance. How long that is, I don't know. Now, if my understanding of the design of statues is correct, when there's one hoof off the ground, that represents that the man died of wounds received in battle, but presumably after the battle had ended. Another view of the spires of San Francisco Monastery. Many of the buildings in this old part of Lima, Peru are nicely restored. Notice the beautiful woodwork, and you'll see more of what really is outstanding woodwork. But here, I don't know if it's a modern building in a classic design, but nicely redone and perhaps maintained. Here you can see a style of balcony, the wood balcony with latticed windows. Another example. Some of these are beautifully carved. An old building gutted for restoration. Now this man can do all of his work with that little shoe shine kit, and then he hooks it over his shoulder to walk around. This looks like an older portion, but I'm not sure if that's true. It just may be part of that concept of frame the stone key centerpieces with the more light or bland design elements. This is Plaza de Armas, and I'll try to pan around. And Sunday yesterday was jammed with people in the evening. No place to sit on the bench, although I eventually found this one spot. Palacio Nacional.